The silent world beneath the surface holds a peculiar allure. For divers like Alex, it's a realm of profound quiet, a place where the weight of the world lifts, replaced by the gentle buoyancy of the water. He'd spent years exploring the ocean's open expanses, but it was the mysterious depths of underwater caves that truly captivated him. Each one a labyrinth of ancient stone holding secrets untold. On this particular dive, Alex had pushed deeper than ever before into a newly discovered section of the Black Abyss system. The beam from his powerful torch cut through the inky water, illuminating bizarre rock formations, ancient stalagmites reaching down like grasping fingers, and the occasional glimmer of pyrite in the cave walls. He felt a familiar mix of reverence and exhilaration, the controlled breathing of his regulator a steady rhythm against the profound silence. Suddenly, his light caught something unexpected. High above, where the cave ceiling should have been solid rock, there was a shimmer, an anomaly. He ascended slowly, cautiously, his heart quickening with a thrill that wasn't quite fear, but pure, unadulterated curiosity. Was it a collapse? A new passage? As he drew closer, the shimmering surface resolved itself into a perfect, undisturbed waterline. An air pocket. Imagine the sheer relief, the sudden luxury of being able to shed your mouthpiece, to breathe the humid, enclosed air. Alex broke the surface, his headlamp illuminating a small, almost perfectly spherical chamber. The air was thick, carrying the scent of damp earth and something else, something faintly metallic, like old coins or dried blood. He took a deep, rattling breath, the first in hours that didn't come from a tank, and felt a strange sense of reprieve. He looked around, curious about this unexpected sanctuary. The chamber was small, perhaps 10 feet across, with smooth, almost polished walls. He swung his light across the damp stone, marveling at the geological oddity. And then he saw them. At first, he thought they were natural discolorations, patterns in the rock. But as his light lingered, he realized they were drawings. Etchings, primitive but remarkably detailed, covering almost every surface of the air pocket. They depicted figures, human figures. And then a chill, colder than the cave water, began to creep up his spine. The figures were divers, and they were him. It was unmistakable, the specific model of his rebreather, the unique patches on his dry suit, even the way his hair, long and dark, tended to float around his head in the water. Each drawing was him, but what they depicted sent a wave of nausea washing over him. The drawings showed him drowning. One depicted him tangled in kelp, his air hose severed. Another, trapped beneath a collapsed rock, his arms flailing, bubbles escaping his mask in a frantic torrent. Another, perhaps the most horrifying, showed his face contorted in a silent scream, his eyes wide with terror as water filled his mask, a thin, final stream of bubbles rising from his mouth, destined never to reach the surface. The detail was meticulous, chillingly so. The desperate arch of his back, the exact placement of his fin, the way his fingers curled in a final futile grasp. Each drawing was a premonition, a terrifyingly specific prophecy of his own demise, etched into the very walls of this ancient hidden chamber. His mind reeled. How could this be? Who could have drawn these? And more pressingly, when? The cave was sealed, unexplored until now. He felt a crushing weight, not of the water, but of an inexplicable dread. This wasn't just art, it felt like a statement that this cave knew him, knew his end, long before he even set eyes on its depths. He felt an overwhelming urge to escape, to get out of this suffocating pocket that had suddenly become a tomb. With a desperate surge of adrenaline, he pulled his regulator back into his mouth, took a final, ragged breath of the cave air, and submerged. He needed to retrace his path, to find the way out, back to the sun-drenched surface, back to a world where his fate wasn't etched into a cave wall. He swam with a frantic energy, his powerful fins propelling him through the silent water. He followed the mental map he'd meticulously constructed on his way in, the distinct rock formations, the subtle shifts in current. His torch beam cut through the darkness, searching for the familiar markers that would lead him to the exit. He swam and swam, pushing past the point where he knew the exit should be. He checked his dive computer, his depth gauge, his pressure gauge. Everything indicated he was on the right path, heading towards the surface. He looked up, expecting to see the faint, welcoming glow of the sunlit water. But there was nothing, just the inky blackness of the cave ceiling. He ascended slowly, his heart hammering against his ribs, a cold knot of dread tightening in his stomach. He pushed higher, higher, until his head almost brushed against the rock ceiling. He swung his light around, frantically searching, but there was no shimmering surface, no open water, no way out. The air pocket, his brief sanctuary, seemed to have vanished, or perhaps the path to the outside had simply closed. The cave, in its ancient, indifferent wisdom, had absorbed itself around him, sealing its secrets once more. The drawings, the terrifyingly specific drawings, they weren't just a record of his death, they were the cave's testament, a chilling echo of a fate already decided, long before he ever donned his gear. He was drawn to this place, drawn to his end. The cave knew. It always knew. And so, the quiet descends once more. The story of Alex, the diver, is a chilling reminder of the profound mysteries that lie hidden in the forgotten corners of our world, and perhaps the unseen forces that may guide our paths, even to our final breath. It makes you wonder, doesn't it, about the whispers of fate and the places that seem to know more about us than we know ourselves. What are your thoughts on Alex's chilling encounter? Have you ever felt an unexplainable pull towards a place, a sense of knowing or being known by something ancient? Share your reflections in the comments below, and if you found yourself captivated by this story, consider following for more tales from the edge of the unknown.